Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take complex sources and boil them down to the key takeaways for you.
Get you the good stuff fast.
Exactly. So today, we're looking at a real cornerstone of personal development. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We're working from a great summary.
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason. These ideas are foundational.
Our goal here is simple. Give you the core principles quickly, stuff you can actually use for, personal or professional growth. Ready to jump in?
Let's do it. The interesting thing right off the bat is that these aren't like quick tips or hacks.
Right.
They're more like fundamental shifts in how you see things, how you operate, a framework, really.
Okay, so let's start with habit 1. Be proactive. What's the essence here?
It's basically about taking responsibility, recognizing you have a choice in how you respond to, well, anything.
Instead of just reacting, like getting angry when something bad happens.
Precisely. Reactive people blame circumstances, other people, the weather. Proactive people focus their energy on what they can actually influence. Their circle of influence, Covey calls it.
Okay, so it's about owning your response.
Yeah, focusing energy productively, not just worrying about stuff outside your control. That's the circle of concern.
Got it. So, for you listening, what's maybe one small thing today you can be proactive about, take ownership of?
Good question to ask. It builds momentum.
All right, habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. This sounds visionary.
It is, in a way. It's about having a clear destination, like knowing what you want your life to be about, what values are important, what legacy you want to leave.
So visualizing your ideal future.
Exactly. And then working backward to make sure your daily actions, your choices today, are actually moving you towards that long-term vision.
Otherwise, you're just busy, but maybe not going anywhere meaningful.
Right. You could be climbing a ladder really fast, but find out it's leaning against the wrong wall. This habit is about choosing the right wall first, creating that personal mission statement.
That makes a lot of sense, which leads nicely into habit 3, put first things first. This sounds like time management.
It is practical time management, but driven by habit 2. It's about the discipline to prioritize based on importance, not just urgency.
The urgent versus important trap. Emails, pinging, phone ringing.
Yeah, we often react to the urgent stuff, the small fires, and neglect the really important things, the things that contribute to that end goal we talked about.
Covey uses that analogy, right? The big rocks.
He does. Imagine filling a jar. If you put the sand and pebbles in first, the small, urgent tasks, you won't have room for the big rocks.
The big rocks being?
Your health, key relationships, major projects, personal growth, the really important stuff. You have to schedule those first, then fit the smaller things around them.
So it's about actively scheduling your priorities, not just fitting them in if there's time.
Exactly. Requires saying no sometimes.
Okay, moving on to interactions. Habit 4. Think win-win.
This is a major mindset shift for many people. It challenges the idea that life or negotiation or collaboration has to be a competition where one person wins and the other loses.
Like a zero-sum game. My gain is your loss.
Right. Win-win says there's usually a third alternative. A solution where everyone feels good about the outcome, where needs are met mutually. It's about seeking mutual benefit.
So, shifting from me to we, in business and, well, life in general.
Yeah. It fosters cooperation, builds better long-term relationships. It takes courage and consideration to really seek that win-win.
And probably requires good communication. Which brings us to habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Oh, this one's huge. So often, we listen with the intent to reply, right? We're just formulating our own response while the other person is talking.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. This habit is about empathetic listening, really trying to see the world from the other person's perspective, understanding their feelings, their needs, before you present your own case.
So, diagnose before you prescribe.
Perfect analogy. You build trust, you build connection. People are much more open to your ideas when they feel genuinely understood. That's where real influence comes from.
Makes total sense.
Okay.
Habit 6. Synergize. Sounds a bit like corporate jargon.
It can sound that way, but the principle is powerful. Synergy is essentially creative cooperation. It's the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
So 1 + 1 = 3 or 10 or 100?
Exactly. When people work together openly, valuing each other's differences and perspectives, they can come up with solutions far better than any one person could alone.
It's more than just teamwork, then.
It's high-trust teamwork, yeah, where differences aren't just tolerated, they're celebrated as opportunities for innovation and insight.
Finding strength in diversity.
Absolutely.
Okay, last one. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. What's this about? Taking a break.
It includes rest, yes, but it's broader. It's about continuous self-renewal, preserving and enhancing your greatest asset, which is you.
How so?
Covey breaks it down into 4 areas: physical exercise, nutrition, rest, mental learning, reading, thinking, emotional, social building relationships, empathy, service, and spiritual clarifying values, meditation, time in nature, whatever resonates.
So it's about investing in yourself across the board to stay effective long term.
Precisely. You can't keep sawing effectively if the blade is dull. This is about regularly taking time to sharpen that blade, preventing burnout, ensuring sustainable performance and well-being.
So maybe asking yourself, what am I doing each week to recharge and grow in these areas?
That's the core of it. It fuels all the other habits.
So wrapping up this deep dive,
Yeah.
these 7 habits, they're clearly not just tips. They seem like fundamental principles for, well, a more effective and fulfilling life.
Definitely. They build on each other, moving from independence to interdependence. It's about character growth, really. Inner work first.
And it requires consistent effort, daily practice, not just reading about it.
Absolutely. It's a journey.
Okay, so a final thought for everyone listening. If you had to pick just one of these habits to focus on more intentionally this week, which one feels like it could create the biggest positive change for you right now?
That's a powerful question to sit with. Where would that focus yield the most immediate impact?